Good evening. Welcome to round 2 of my reenactment of the 1983 Formula 1 season in Automobilista 2. In the last round, weren't watching Brazil. We're just doing 9 tracks. We're just doing the tracks which are available, or the closest version that's available in Automobilista 2. So that's Padua, Muller, Spa, Montreal, Silverstone, Hockenheim, Spielberger, Ring, Monza, and then Kyalami. In the first round in Brazil, despite supposedly being real weather, it was in real life it was hot and sunny. Automobilista decided it was going to be rainy, and I found I was slower qualifying in dry conditions during the race. I seemed to have the edge on the rest of the field. I managed to win that, so that was a good start to the championship. I haven't checked what the weather's going to do now. I've put the real weather from what I remember and from the race reports. Imola in 1983 was sunny, no rain. So, let's see how it goes. 20 minutes qualifying. Don't need all that much fuel. Going with the same setup I had last time. Okay, a bit misty out here. No, I'm not sure what the qualifying conditions were for the 1983 race. Cold tires there. Yeah, in those days we didn't really see qualifying. Qualifying was actually run over 2 days. Friday and Saturday, or in the case of Monte Carlo, Thursday and Saturday. Yeah, now I was qualifying each day, and then it was the best time on whichever session. As last week, I'm driving the number 2 Williams FW08, which was driven by Jacques Lafitte. I believe it's his 80th birthday today. It's November the 21st. Anyway, this my partner in the team, of course, is the world champion from 1982, Keke Rosberg. And the Williams FW8 was running the Cosworth DFE normally aspirated engine, along with several other teams. They were still on the... hadn't switched to turbo power. Whereas teams such as Ferrari, Renault, Brabham, Ligier, Tolman, probably a couple of others, Alfa Romeo, had all in 1983 switched to turbo power, and depending on your source, they may have had 200 more horsepower than the normally aspirated cars. Well, they might have had double the normal aspirated, double the horsepower of the normal aspirated cars. I do feel sometimes that maybe some of these figures got exaggerated. I think the Brabhams, particularly in qualifying, had a lot more power. Supposedly at some point, I don't know if it's as early as 1983, but they had 1500 horsepower during qualifying. I think during the races it was probably more 600-700. Cars are taking a bit of time to warm up. Conditions seem to be suiting the turbos as powering past me on the straight. At the moment I'm in last position. I'm up a little bit this lap though. Okay, improved a little bit, but still not even the fastest of the normally aspirated cars, behind the Tyrrell of Danny Sullivan. Car's finally beginning to warm up a little bit. Treasurer's using the power of his V8 Turbo Alfa Romeo to get past me. Slowed me down a little bit. Double yellow. Oh, I've got a right traffic jam here. These curbs are brutal. Picking up a little bit of a tow from cars in front. Right, and Brabham off there. See which one. Oh, got a bit of a traffic jam at the Aqua Minerale. Ferrari seems to be going a bit slow. He's on an in-lap. Rene Arnoux. Now he's going for another lap. Oh, car behind me. Who was that? Like a McLaren going into the pits. I don't know why Arnoux's going so slow. Maybe he got some problems, which makes me wonder why didn't he pit. Free of the traffic for a little while here. But the curbs are quite brutal, and if you can actually ride them, looks worse than it is. The car doesn't get too unsettled. You can really feel it through the force feedback. Losing concentration a bit there, got a bit of a slapper on. There's a little bit of tyre wear after just a few, only 6 laps, so I think we're going to have to make a pit stop. Of course, was the norm during most races in 1983. First year sort of in the modern era of Formula One where tyre changes and refueling became part of strategy of a Grand Prix. Of course, then refueling was banned in 1984. Then unbanned in 1994. And then rebanned in 2010, I think. But we still have the tyre strategies. Or at least beat my teammate Rosberg, who's 3/10 ahead of me at the moment. And he was pretty much the fastest non-turbo car that season. Sometimes despite the horsepower handicap, sometimes as fast as the turbo cars. And some of the power circuitry shouldn't really have been. Okay, that was a better lap. 15th, so I'm ahead of KK. Behind Lauder and Watson now. Still need about another half a second. Whether I've still got the tires to do it, I don't know. Up a little bit. Lost time there, bouncing over the curbs. And let's ruin that lap. Too bad for that first sector. Oh, threaded nicely through Aqua Minerale. Too much curb there. Went up too many gears. I'll get one more lap in after this. Okay, managed to thread myself through there quite neatly. Very easy to brake too late there and overshoot. Okay, so it looks like I'm the top normally aspirated car. Still some way off the turbos. Or the leading turbos, I should say. Even the slowest turbos, I'm 1.3 behind Shiva. Lost a bit of that bounce over the curb. It's like I was saying, braking too late. That's qualifying. Yeah, on pole. I think Arnu was on pole in real life. Got the two Brabhams. Then Arnu in the Ferrari, Prost in the first Renault, only fourth. Alfred de Tegeris fifth. De Angelis in the Lotus Renault sixth, and Tombe in the other Ferrari seventh. Boldy in the Ligier eighth. Ligier Renault. Winkelhock in the ATS BMW ninth. Warwick in the Tolman Hart 10th. Hansen in the Spirit Honda. Sorry, the Hart was only later. 11th, good showing by him. Achiever. Underachieving. Pardon the pun. In the Renault in 12th. Then we've got the normally aspirated cars, and Ansel also maybe could have done a little bit better. Lotus Renault. No, as well. Very slow. Okay. Go to the race in a few minutes. Okay, so on to the race. Now, okay, weather looks dry. Not too hot. Now the real race was 60 laps. It took an hour and 37 minutes, I think. I've made all the races in this championship 90 minutes. Just to sort of keep it under control. The wet race, it doesn't go on forever. So I make a pit stop, which I think I'll have to. I don't think these cars are going to last. Thirty laps should be enough. Save. Fine. Setup seems okay. Good as can be expected. Okay, off we go. 90 minutes. Yeah, I seem to have got the jump on the rest of the normally aspirated cars. Weather fortunately seems a bit better today in this session than it did in qualifying. We're only outside of Warwick. AI don't seem so much concerned with the curbs as I do. They seem to be able to ride them a bit better. Oh, locked up there. Hasn't created a flat spot. And a flat spot for the next 30 odd laps. I seem to have worn down my left front, right front quite considerably. That is a concern. Big concern. I'll have to look after that tyre and how it happens when you lock up the brakes, I guess. course, I don't know what pit strategies, if at any, the other cars are on. In the last race in Brazil, I didn't stop because of the rain, the wet weather. I decided just to put wet tyres on and fill up with fuel, and then be prepared to make a pit stop if the weather changed, which it didn't. Most other cars did stop, apart from Prost, who finished second. Last race, there seemed to be, looking back at the replay, there seemed to be some stuttering, which I have made attempts to rectify that problem. Hopefully it won't be apparent in this broadcast. Also, I found a bit with the sound, the car sound was a bit high in the mix. I've turned that down, so hopefully my voice is more audible tonight. I'm super conscious now of this right front tyre. Like a third worn down just on the first slap. If I manage to stay with some of the turbo cars, the rear guard of the turbo cars, I should say. Very conscious not to do anything too daring like that. Fortunately, hasn't caused any damage. Right, Boldy's in the Alfa Romeo. I think I said the Ligier earlier. Did seem a bit slow going into the Aqua Minerale. Maybe he's already experiencing tyre wear as well. Oh, again. Trouble turning into that chicane. Fortunately, no harm done. Marlboro cars sandwiching me. Boldy in the Alfa Romeo in front, and then Lauda in the McLaren behind me. Lauda, of course, and Watson in the McLarens, also with DFV positive power. Indeed, Watson managed to get just one win actually. '83, which was at Long Beach. Oh no, not again. Can't turn in there. Yeah, Lauda got the actually McLaren 1-2. Long Beach, and they started 22nd and 23rd on the grid. Finished first and second. It still stands as the record for the lowest starting position to win a Formula 1 Grand Prix. Nobody's actually ever won right from the back of the grid. In fact, even if someone did now, with only 20 cars in the field, that would only be from 20th to first, not 22nd to first. Until Formula 1 allows more teams into the sport, hopefully will be happening with Andretti and maybe someone else. John Watson's record's in no chance of being broken. Okay, slap I managed to get through there. Still, grip's running out. A couple of drivers since then have won after being actually last in the race and then ending up winning. Of course, these days with pit strategies, you know, and safety cars and stuff, it's you can be last and then suddenly you know, you overtake a dozen cars because they stop for tyres if you've stopped early. I think Jenson Button at one point was last in the Canadian Grand Prix in 2011, which he famously won on the last lap. And wasn't Perez last at some point during the Sakir Grand Prix in 2020? He got his first win in the wasn't Aston Martin. Was it Racing Point or was it still Force India? That was one of them. It wasn't Aston Martin yet. I think it was Racing Point by that time. Yeah, I think he at some point was last during that race, but then there was yellow flags and another yellow flag. I think I can't remember now. closest I've been for a while, I think. I'm only 14 seconds behind after 9 laps. No. Qualifying, I was several seconds behind. On 1 lap, I'd have thought would have been much further behind than that by now. Again, she went straight in to avoid going into Baldy's rear. I seem to be braking a bit early. He's got the power to pull away on the straights. To be honest, I can't even remember him from... I remember him, but I don't remember him in the 83 season. I don't remember him driving for Alfa Romeo. Anything that happened of importance in Alfa Romeo in 83 was Andrew Treasuris. Mainly leading at Spa. Oh, no. Oh, no, now we've got a problem. Now we've got a problem. Okay, this is a problem. I don't know what happened there. Now, I might get round to the pits to try and get this repaired. Still got over half the lap to go. Of course, in real life this would be beyond repair, but hopefully our AMS2 mechanics can get me back in the race. Can't even keep it on the track. Oh. I don't know how long this is going to take to repair, but we're in last place now. The other question is, will my tyres be able to last the rest of the race? Only 20 minutes into a 90-minute race. I don't know what other strategies other drivers are on. This looks like this could be quite a lengthy repair. Retirements in those days were quite common, you know, due to mechanical failures, so maybe there's still a chance for some points. Also, slower drivers would finish several laps behind. There's still something to drive for. It's a lengthy pit stop though. I'm 5 minutes behind now. But still at least another 2 minutes of repairs. I'm not too sure what caused that accident. Maybe I bottomed out on a bump. To lose it going in a straight line. I do hope they've changed the tyres because it's still showing the old tyres. MS2 sometimes does have a problem where the crew don't do as they're told to. But I'm 4 laps down now. Okay, now they've put new tyres on. I've got to drive through exceeding track limits. Oh my goodness, that seems unfair. Doesn't help my cause, does it? car's very heavy with fuel now. Take into consideration. Weren't braking. It's not saying anything else about this drive-through, so I can hear the car bottoming out quite a bit now on the straight. There's so much fuel in it. Fuel load is definitely making a difference in the braking areas. Blue flag for sure. Alberto behind me, but I'm just going to ignore that. Blue flags back then weren't punishable like they are these days. They were just sort of more advice than actual rule. And in a lot of other racing series still today, it's not, you know, they're just telling you a slow car's coming up to you, but it's most racing series and how it used to be in Formula 1. Leaders had to find a way past you. You weren't allowed to block them. You weren't supposed to block them. It was up to them to get past you, not for you to let them past. Which, in my opinion, is how it should be. The best drivers were always the ones who could get past the back markers, which is part of the reason why they were the best drivers. Ayrton Senna being a prime example. I saw it just a few laps ago, or a lap or so ago, the Treasure is pitted. Whether that was for damage or routine pit stop, I don't know. Whether his tyres had worn out. Or where he's come out. Oh, he's 23rd, so he's ahead of a driver in front of me. A few laps ahead of me. Not sure if he's planning to stop again. And unlike the last race in Brazil, where the back markers seemed a lot slower than the leaders, the differential doesn't seem so big here for some reason. Maybe was it just dry? Obviously decreases my hopes of making up any places. No retirements either. Hansen pitting, so maybe some of these cars are going to do 2 stops. The fuel in the back's acting a bit like a pendulum. Slow corners. It really is a bit of a beast to handle at the moment. Keep the tires fairly intact. Hopefully it should become better as the race goes on. On the straight they're going down to Tosa, it's like a line of dirt, so whether that's supposed to be marbles from the tyres or just dirt off the racing line, it's been blown onto the track. I don't know, I think that's what possibly contributed to my accident. I'll have to keep an eye on that. Several places around the circuit. So I pulled away from Alboreto. Was obviously he's ahead of me, but behind me on the road. Yeah, there's that line, so I'm just going to make sure I steer to the left of that. It definitely wasn't there at the start. Scruffy lap. Oh, looks like Tombay's taken the lead from PK. Obviously, Tombay was the actual winner in real life in 1983. In that race, he took the lead from PK's teammate Patrese with about 6 or 7 laps to go. Patrese had taken the lead. Can't remember the circumstances now. Maybe when the Renaults blew up, which they were quite good at doing. I've actually checked before started this race. Anyway, Patrese took the lead. The Brabham. And then promptly went straight on at Acqua Minerale. Gave Tombay and the Ferrari the lead. Right, Patrese, being an Italian, in Italy, the crowd were delighted because a Ferrari was in the lead. That was the second and last win by Tombay. Only 2 wins in his career, but both are very poignant. Of course, both the number 27 Ferrari, the number of great Gilles Villeneuve, who he replaced at Ferrari after Villeneuve's tragic accident at Zolder in '82. And his first win at Hockenheim in '82 was same weekend, but his teammate Didier Pironi had a massive shunt and smashed his legs to pieces. Resulted in the end of his Formula One career, motor racing career, in fact. So yeah, it just came at the right time. The Ferrari with one of their drivers dead and the other one critically injured. Tombe managed to keep it all together and take the win. And then in '83 at Imola, this race, which was a year on from Villeneuve's last actual Grand Prix, and now I go on to the bloody dirt again. Controversial race where Pironi beat him. He believed Pironi broke team orders or disobeyed team orders in the '82 race. Anyway, regardless of that, a year on from Villeneuve's last race, Tombe with Villeneuve's number wins. Of course, Tombe now also sadly passed a year or so ago. I'm not sure. I think Tombe and Gilles Villeneuve, their first Grand Prix was 1977 British Grand Prix, I think, for both of them. I might be wrong. Definitely for Gilles Villeneuve, he was driving a McLaren. Third McLaren. Sure, Tombe's, I can't think what he was driving. I might be wrong. Oh, DeAngelis is behind me now. What happened to DeAngelis? Is he out? He had an accident. I didn't notice that going yapping here. Paying attention to actually going on in the race. The 1977 British Grand Prix obviously was a pivotal point in for many reasons. First race for Gilles Villeneuve in a Grand Prix. First race where there's turbo cars. The Renault entering their first Grand Prix. First race for radial tires in the Grand Prix. Michelin's on the Renaults. Of course, James Hunt getting the win. He was controversially denied the previous year at Brands Hatch. I'm not sure what's happened to this drive-through penalty for cutting the track. I've had Whether my pit stop counted as that drive-through, I don't know. I was only showing it as I was leaving the pits. Anyway, maybe I'll get a time penalty at the end of the race. Who knows what's going on there? Seems a bit unfair, seeing as my car was wrecked and I was hardly at racing speed. I'll work out where DeAngelis is because he's saying 5:45 behind, which I presume is behind the leader. Well, I'm 5:59. So he should be ahead of me, but he's behind me, so I'm not quite sure. Now I'm 6 minutes behind. We're halfway through the race. Okay, it looks like I think DeAngelis is in the pits. I think he's got serious trouble like I had earlier. He's had a big accident or he's out. At 5:45 is probably must be the gap when he entered the pits. I'm 6 minutes behind now. This other driver's now 3 minutes behind, so... There is some chance of getting some places. And if you didn't listen to the first race, I am using the... Come on, turn. I'm using the current point system as it in AMS2. If you choose the championship option, single player championship option, it doesn't give you the option for the... Don't seem to have changed the point system to what was used in the 80s, which was 9, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we're using the modern day 25, 18, 12, I'll try 15, 12, 10, 8, etc, etc, etc for the top 10. So if I can get to the top 10, I might better get a point. Looks like up to 21st now. Presume this is cars with mechanical problems, engine problems, maybe accidents. I don't know. around there decently at last. First time in a few laps. Well, I can well believe the Cheshire and Baldy is probably engine trouble since Alfa Romeos weren't what you'd call reliable. Same with the Tolman Hart. Okay, I'm getting tired of that. Getting a bit of tyre wear, but I'm stint. I came out of the pits at 68 minutes and now it's 38, so I'm like 30 minutes. So I'm almost halfway through. I think the tyres should last. I don't think it's going to benefit me by coming into the pits again. I think I'll lose more time than I'll lose just staying out. I haven't been keeping an eye on even if the leaders have stopped pitted yet. Presume some of them. I don't know. A couple of pit signs come up, but not really paying attention to who. It's only showing me the top three. Races we've missed out that were between Brazil, Acapagua and San Marino were... Second race was at Long Beach. I didn't include that because it's a different track to... vastly different track to the modern day Long Beach track in AMS2, so I didn't think it was really realistic. They don't have a historic version. Hopefully they will have, because there was many, even during the Formula 1 years, there was many different versions of the Long Beach track. I'm hoping AMS2 will bring out a couple of historic versions at some point. Obviously they're doing a lot of things. It looks like maybe we're getting Le Mans. From what I've seen, but I didn't go too deep into the investigation. And the other one was Paul Ricard, which we don't have in AMS2. Not even many games really. I suppose the modern Formula 1 games have probably got it. Some of them, obviously not this year's F1 game because it wasn't in the calendar this year. Set a course of competition has it, but a slightly different version to the Formula 1 track. Oh god. Okay, let's get back on the track. Oh, this isn't going well. No grip on the grass. But that doesn't help matters. Lost 13 seconds. Yeah, but I'm not too sure if Paul Ricard's high up on anyone's wish list for this game. Other tracks we're not racing on. Monaco. Alright, the track's pretty much... it can't change that much. Because of the buildings which are around it. But it has changed. There are even sort of runoff areas. And places where you can take shortcuts like going by the swimming pool, which weren't there in the 80s. So doesn't really have that. I think if you had checked a lap from the 1983 against the lap from 2020 or whatever. Oh no, not again. Need to keep concentration here. Obviously, it isn't an official Monaco circuit in AMS2. It's called Algarve. Yeah. Anyway, it's not really a historic version, so wanted to keep as close to possible as the actual tracks that were raced. Detroit obviously doesn't exist in this. I've raced a pretty basic version of Detroit. I think basic would be kind description. in R factor 2. And I can't see it's a track that they'd include in AMS2 as unless they specifically wanted to recreate a season from the they got a license or something to recreate a whole season from one of the 1980 Formula 1 seasons. Okay, we're doing the 93 version of Spa, which is pretty close enough to the 83 version. It's got the original bus stop. Yeah, and the runoff areas I think are pretty similar. Österreich Ring 77, but again it's close enough. The track they raced 83, Hockenheim 88. That's in, I think all the chicanes are in roughly the right places. I've left out Brands Hatch again because there's no historic version of the track that hosted the European Grand Prix, which is the second from last Grand Prix, which was brought in to replace the New York Grand Prix. Supposedly was to be held at Flashing Meadows, which never materialized. Yeah, again because it's there was an historic version of Brands Hatch, I would have put it in. Hopefully we'll bring out a historic version. I said the track, there's been a few changes to some of the corners, but it's more the buildings and stuff. Kyle Army's included. That was the last event. We've got Kyle Army 1976. Track really didn't change too much between then and 1983. Monza 1991. It's the closest. I think in a few years later, but yeah, it's close enough. Silverstone, which is maybe the most dissimilar in sort of scenery, is Silverstone 1975, because it really does look like a oh god, chicane again. Yeah, the Silverstone one really does look like it's out of the... It even looks more like it's like out of the 60s than anything else. But again, the track layouts, what they would have raced in 83. Which would have probably been, if it wasn't for the pit stops, might have been the fastest Grand Prix of all time at that point. Saying that doesn't make sense, because why would they do pit stops if they'd be fast without the pit stops? I think Murray Walker at the start of the race, he said that going to be the fastest Grand Prix of all time. But it wasn't. It was 1971 Italian Grand Prix was still faster. For some reason I got the idea that it's because pit stop slowed them down. If the pit stop slowed them down, then yeah, doesn't make sense, does it? Tracy passing me. And Arnu behind me. Come up to 19th now. Oh. I'm not going to stop Arnu going by. If he can get by. Lifted off a bit there. I want to get in his way. We're in different races. And Prost behind me, but it looks like he's a lap behind, so maybe he's stopped. It seems not longer than a normal stop would take. Grip's really gone, but sometimes you get the grip coming back a little bit. I can try and just stay up with these two. Take to focus on. But running by yourself at the back of the pack, it's difficult to stay focused. That's why I've been making so many mistakes. Well, that and just the car is just impossible with so much fuel on board. I'm getting down to levels of fuel I had before that accident, so maybe Prost's got a problem because now see Chiva in fourth place, a lap ahead of him, has just passed him. I'm sort of pulling away from which would be unexpected. There's Chiva going past me. Oh, what the hell is Prost doing? Dive bombing me like that. That's, I would say it's pretty uncharacteristic of him. Whatever problems Prost had, he seems to have got over them. He's back up to speed. Just going into this race, he was my closest rival in the championship. It's good to see him down in 10th position. If he doesn't climb too much higher. Going back to what tracks are missing, I think the other one's Zandvoort, which we have in no guise in this game. Gazelles in the pits, I don't know. Not too sure how bad that is. I'll be able to get, oh no, not quite a quick pit stop. Reader's at 46 laps, so 15 minutes to go. This might get to about 55. Try and work out the gaps between myself and the other drivers, and we're going in a straight line and go off the track. Now, looks like I'm like 2 minutes behind the two drivers in front, so chance of any bit of a 19th are really slim. This, of course, someone else retires. This car's definitely coming alive again now as the fuel burns off. That was my best lap in a long time. It's not bottoming out now on the straight as it was. Oh, not again. Okay, I think this is me done for. I think this is me done for. Oh, steering wheel's at like 180 degrees just to go. Straight. Almost 180 degrees. Hopefully this is going to be worth returning to the race. Winkelhock's still in the race. Good stop. Doesn't even want to repair me. Sure why. Anyway. Just watch the rest of the race. 7 minutes to go. EK got 16-second lead over our new. Tracy not far behind Arnu. See them both in the same shot there. And Cheever as well, not far behind them. Got a few back markers. Bombay's a bit on his own. We've got the two McLarens close together. Been running together all the whole race. And Rosberg with the fast closing Alain Prost. Yeah, so potentially I could have been in the top 10, well into the top 10 if it hadn't been for that accident, the first accident. Oh, just got an accident here. That's louder. Kind of lap Shura. Tangled up a bit there. Shura's not making it easy for him. But Lauda's going to get... Oh no, is he going to get him into Tosa? Still side by side. Yeah, now Lauda's got him now. Looks like that's put paid to any hopes of what Lauda getting past Watson, but now got a 5-second lead. That Proston chasing Watson's the... Oh no, it's not though. It's Winkelhock behind... Sorry, Rosberg. I thought that was Prost behind Rosberg, but it's not. It's Winkelhock in ATS. Rosberg's got a 7th place there, it looks like. He's still a couple of seconds ahead of Chiva. I think he's... What's happened to PK? PK's disappeared. I'm unsure what happened there. It seems to be closing up on Petrozzi. Over a second and a half. Okay, I think we're on the last lap now. No, this is the only race on the track as far as I can see. Unless something unexpected happens. A couple more cars have retired, down to 14 now. Figure out who's gone and who's still there. Okay, so on who's the winner? Tracy, Cheever, Tombe, and Lauder, Rosberg, Prost, Alberto, and Schurer. Top 10. Guerrier, Boots, and PK Mansell all retired after me, but yeah, still wouldn't have made too much difference. But my best lap 141.652. Better than Petresi, not far off Cheever. Better than Watson, Lauder, Rosberg. Half a second off Prost. Yeah, so disappointing. Because if I hadn't messed up, yeah, maybe I could have been well into the top 10. Anyway, that's the reason I'm streaming it, because I didn't want to have the option of restarting every time I made a mistake. Make myself pay for any mistakes I made. I have dearly today. Need to get in plenty of practice for the next race at Spa. Obviously a track any sim racer knows like the back of their hand. Are they going to end, or are they just... Last few finishing their run-down laps. Sure, the crowd very pleased with a Ferrari victory. I don't know why these two are carrying on. They should be coming into the pits. What on earth are they doing? Yeah, Tifosi must be overjoyed. Our new winning. The Ferrari won AMS2 simulation as it did in real life in the 1983 San Marino Grand Prix. Except of course last time it was in the real life, it was Bombay. Time it was Anu. Skip to the end. Actual results. Prost made 2 stops and still finished 8th. Okay, the best laps here. Faster than the best laps that was showing on the other screen. So I do 1:45.59. Yeah, I don't know, because I'd planned to stop. So would I have got? Where would I have got? 8th. Yeah, probably. Haven't made any mistakes. I could have been 8th, I guess, at the best. They're saying that, not too much of a disaster. Lost 4 points, possibly. Listeners, don't do it next time. Manu gets 4 points. What it does to the championship table. Okay, so Manu's leading the championship by a hefty margin there. And Chiva, of a surprise really, myself, Tracy. Obviously Anu was a title contender right to the last race in South Africa. Prost was also one of the 3 contenders down there in 5th. And PK was the world champion down in 8th and already 30 points behind, over a win away from the top. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. That is it. So good night if you've been watching, or if you're watching the replay, thank you very much. I've enjoyed talking. I don't know if it's a lot of nonsense, but anyway. Got any comments, please leave them below. Have a good night.